What are the responsibilities for a retail manager? If you're going through and you're trying to figure out how do I make more money, because let's face it, the money's in the managers, it's not anywhere else, then you want to watch this video because I'm going to share with you what took me 30 years to know and my successful clients have used for much of that time. And it isn't hard, you just got to be focused. Are you using goals to motivate your crew? Do you know what goals are? Or do you have a goal that's a sales goal and you say, dang on it, it's too high. Yeah, I've been there. It's a really hard place to be. So if you watch this video, I'm going to show you exactly some of the tips that I've used to increase sales for a lot of the biggest brands in the world, all the way down to the smallest mom and pops. Now let's get going. Okay, so the number one thing you better do is hit your goals consistently. That's simple. It may not be for your CEO who may not hit his goals and or her goals, but it may end up being something separate. All you care about is your little world. As far as I'm concerned, it's your name on the door. If you have that pride and that passion, then you'll do everything to hit those sales goals. Nothing would get me more upset when I was a regional manager and we'd get to the end of the month and they would do the final accounting and they would tell the store manager, oh, you missed by $400. I'm like, you are an idiot. I would have called up my brother and said, you need 3 new outfits, or you need a new pair of boots, or whatever. You can return it the next month. But I don't think that is fraud. I don't think it is bad. It is a matter of saying, I have to hit this. And usually sales goals, if it's only $400 isn't much, but you should know that. You should have that already in their mind. So beyond anything, number one is hit your sales goals. Is that different than anyone else that worked for you? No. What's the number one job for an assistant manager? Hit your darn sales goals. What's the number one job for an associate? Yeah, hit your sales goal. But Bob, she just started. Yeah, I don't care. She has to have some kind of a goal. Oh, but what's a goal? Well, a goal is you saying, I want to go here and then backfill it and say, what's it going to take, right? So if you wanted to be a bodybuilder, you say, oh, I'm just going to work at the gym. That's not a goal. You got to say, I want to gain 10 pounds and be able to wear the next size up shirt. What's it going to take? Oh, okay. Plenty of resources you could find that out. But more importantly, then you've got to apply it. It's like I've got retail sales training, SalesRX.com. It's great, but if you don't watch it, it's not great. If you don't actually do it, it's not great. So while you're watching this, do something. Keep a little note by your side and say, I have to do this or I have to do that, and take some notes, because ultimately you don't have to be a whiz kid to be a great manager, but you do have to pay attention to being brilliant on the basics. More about that in a minute. I think one of the hardest things I ever challenged myself to do, is I better make the first sale of the day. Whew, that's hard. It's easy in December. Oh, yeah, look how great I am. It's hard. So you might be on the sales floor for an hour and not get anything, but when you do, you have shown your crew it's possible. And you know what they're going up against, and you can talk to them about it, and you can say, now, did you see how I did that? Unpack it for me. Tell me what you saw. Oh, well, you helped the guy. It's like, yeah, no, I need to be critical. What did I do? Or what did I do right? What did I do wrong? What might you have added? If you engage the head, then you understand that your goal is to develop your crew. That's it. Yeah, I get it. You've got to move these widgets, and this has to be sold. You got an online order and all that. Yeah, but that's just details. That's nonsense. Your goal is to craft a crew. Think of it like you're making a film. And what are the actors going to do if they don't have a script? What are they going to do if somebody isn't watching whether they're getting the lines or not? Like I'm doing in this video. Hopefully I'm getting this all for you. But at the end of the day, unless we hold ourselves accountable for something that we should be doing, we let it go and we slide, and then that might be why you're watching this too. You might have had a write-up. Somebody might have said, hey, you're not a good sales manager. I need something different. And that means holding yourself to a different responsibility. One of the biggest things that I ended up doing is realizing that I have to stay focused and build up my own energy. So one thing that I don't know if I should share it with you now. I think are we friends enough that I can share this with you? In the morning, I've said this before, I learned this from Tony Robbins many years ago. He's the guy that actually, I went to one of his seminars. He said, you better come up with a brand nobody else can do better than you. And I left and I filed the trademark for the Retail Doctor. When you're really committed and you have that, you can do it. So one of the things he taught me is every morning you have this move, and I'm going to make this move. It's many times, and you're going to grab your hands as high as you can, and you're going to pull it down to yourself. 1, 2, 3. You're going to do that 3 sets of 30, and at the end, you're going to say, what are 3 things I can be grateful for today? You have to say them out loud, and then you're going to go through And then you're going to visualize the white lights coming down from your head all the way through your body and taking all your fears and worries out. And it's bringing back up the feelings you most want to have. And I do that several times. And then you get to the end of that and you say, we're going to do, and put your goals in, this, this, and this. And I stand up and I say, I'm a gladiator. I know what they want. They want what I have. Let's go get it. Now you might say, well, geez, Bob, that sounds corny. You know, Tony Robbins, firewalk guy. Yeah, Tony Robbins, firewalk guy. Because successful people lead trails for us. It may not work for you. Maybe that's not the exact one. But if you're really serious, you're going to try it. Hey, look, when I was selling cowboy clothes, I had to make the first sale of the day as a manager, and I would do anything to help me. I wanted my advantage. So one of them was, came out in the Los Angeles Times, that phenotypes were something, if you wore those, that it changed the way people were receptive to you or not. And I thought, I guess it worked for dating. That didn't really work for me. So I tried this different cologne, and I kind of thought maybe something, and I ditched that after a week. And then it was the color you have. Oh, so I wore this hot pink Wrangler shirt. Did that really work? I don't know. But what really worked was me realizing that it was me inside that had to work, right? Because we've all had those days. You wait on somebody, and you say hi, and they're like, drop dead. And you know, you're trying to work with them and it's just pummeling. And there's other days you walk in and they're like, what else can I buy from you? And you're like, this is an amazing job, I love it. You have to remember those days because you're the leader. The associates don't get that privilege. They're caught down in, you know, empty the trash or do these other menial jobs. You are responsible for energizing yourself. And if I can be a part of that, that's great. If you feel like someone else can do it, I think you're gonna have a tough time. Because, yeah, you can do happy chants, yay, yay, we're great, everybody do this. And you can say that, but if you don't feel it inside, I think you're pretty hollow. And the good news is, when you master that, you can do anything. And from that, you can coach behaviors, not numbers. So you see somebody over there on their phone, you know, depressed. The question becomes, hey, what's on your phone? I didn't see that. Oh, I know I shouldn't be on it, but my daughter's sick or something else. And that's another thing. I'm not a fan of having phones on the floor because I think it always is pulling you out. It's like that secret little Las Vegas gambling machine. It's right here with me. It might just have a notification. Oh, and you know, realize that if you say that you don't want people on the floor and yet you're using it, not good. So you go over to that person, you're going to ask them. So tell me, what about that video? Oh, I was just watching a cat video. It's great. So what do we say about that? We're not supposed to do it. Great, walk with me. I'm going to walk around, go out to the front of the store. Now, and where were you? Right there. Great. Can customers see you there? Absolutely. What's that look like if you see somebody in a store doing that? They don't care. It's boring. Right. Is that going to get us more money? No. Here's the thing, managers. Let's go close on this one. My biggest tip for you. The person who asks the questions is the person in charge. That's true why in selling, the person asks questions, but particularly as a manager. You don't have to lead by, daggone it, do it this way. Just ask those questions. And once they can see it and they're trainable, you're like, I got a great crew. If they can't, they're like, so what? I'm like, great, thanks for validating. I don't want this person. And maybe they're gonna be working in the stockroom or doing something else, but they're gonna be hindering your ability to make more money in your store. The other thing as a retail store manager, I don't know if you're watching this because you're part of a big conglomerate or you're just, you know, the owner and you is it. Maybe if you're the owner, is to understand that you are the bridge between the brand and the store crew. So they might be pummeling you and saying, hey, you need to get these X number of widgets out and on display by tomorrow by 12 because someone's coming in. You don't want to bring that energy into your store. Your goal is to buffer them and also never berate your HQ or your DM because at the end of the day, you got to work with them. And you're the one that is going to be promoted and rewarded because of how well you communicate with them. So if there's ever a question about, daggone it, they're doing terrible things, don't join in them. And while we're at it, talking about commiserating, you know, if you're a manager and on Friday night you want to go out with the crew and have a great time, you are not going to be the manager on Monday morning when they've got to hit a sales goal. Just ain't going to happen. You can be their friend. Yeah, you. But can you fire them? Which is why I don't hire friends or family. It's work. It's work. And being a retail store manager is work too. But today I wanted just to get over the idea that it's so much more in ourselves. It's so much more of trying to understand, wow, is this what gets me going? Is this what's fun? Great. And if I can get a running buddy with me, an assistant manager, that doesn't make it hard on me, and I can say, hey, your job is to make me look good, and they can bring their skills in with it. Maybe they're really doing well with ChatGPT and AI, and they're showing you some new ways to do leverage selling or product knowledge. Great. Then you've got the spirit of, we can do this. But if you're just looking for, how do I be a great retail store manager, I think most people will go through and just give you the basics. You make sure you make your budget, keep scheduling underhand, and don't pay too much on HR, don't give too much, right? And it's just like, who wants to do that? You don't want to do that. You're here with me, which is why right now I've got a special offer for you I want you to look at. Up here on this screen, you can get further information. We can go a little bit deeper. And if you don't see it on your screen, you're on your mobile device, then just scroll down below. You'll see it right there. But let's keep the dialogue going, because I'm telling you, I am the hope of brick and mortar retail. There's no one else that has the clients that I do. No one else has had the success that I do. And in a later video, I am going to share with you, you know what, I might even share with you right now. Let's go crazy here. All right, so thanks for staying, because this is what got me to be the retail doctor. So I was reading about this small coffee house that was struggling. It had a second Starbucks opening 100 feet from its front door. And people were writing letters to the editors, what's wrong with America, big guy taking out the little guy, and all these terrible stories. And I decided to go visit this retailer. And I walked in, and half the lights were out, and the two employees are standing by the side. Yeah, when that second Starbucks opens next month, this will basically be gone. I've already put my application in somewhere. And I thought, this guy needs me. And I went and met Mike, and I told him, what I do. And he said, great, I'll give you free reign. And we had a meeting with the crew, and I put a big picture of the Titanic behind me. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, we're on this, and it's not going down on my watch. And two girls got up and left and said, you can't do this to us, Mike, we're a family. And several other people said the same thing. And we only had the same one employee from that 20 crew. After 30 days, sales rose 11%. The whole story goes on, but I increased sales 50% for him that first year and 40% the next. I called the New York Times. Are you interested in the story about how the little guy beat the big guy? We are. We met with them on October 29th, 1997. I was down in New York speaking. I look at the New York Times. I flip it over Sunday, color picture of me and Mike, and I open up the paper, and there's a picture of me with Mike. It says, meet the category killer. That was me. I could only do that because I had success when I was an associate, when I was a manager, and when I was a DM. And I realized there's a path waiting for me, even if I don't feel it right now. And that's why I want you, while you're watching, you've been watching me this long, I got a special offer for you. I want you to watch this link up here. Special video I think would be really good for you. Or if you don't see it, you can put it down here in the text box. But let's keep the dialogue going. And please don't become one of those people who becomes bitter and says it's horrible to work retail. I know people making a great living and have great families who believe it's about making somebody else's day before they're going to make yours. Retail Doc, out.